Alright, I don't know how long I'll stream, but basically I just want to do one more with the Necro before Season 1, which is tomorrow. And we swapped builds from being pets to just Blood Surge, which kind of just nuke everything on the screen. So I thought I'd just make a little short stream with this build before Season 1, where I'll most likely play either a rogue or a druid. Depends on if I make hardcore or normal, which I guess they call softcore. Ooh, I kind of need to do Helltide. We're low on whatever that material is to reroll stats. Alright, so actually we'll do that. Oh wait, I keep forgetting to check this guy. I think I got something new, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was like this or something, or this one. I don't know. We'll stick to this. But yeah, the difference between this build and probably the pet build or minion build, a lot less setup. Kind of just go straight into fighting, which is nice. I feel they nerfed the drop rate of cinders. But yeah, basically this build is all about overpower damage and being tanky. So I just wanted to make something or use a build that's kind of like almost complete opposite of the minion build, since pretty much kind of done with them until any big changes happen. I plan to like kind of just level up other classes versus continuing to do more necro builds. Like I said, until something a new, more interesting build happens or something, like with new items, new aspects or whatever. How are you not dead? Yeah, but see, I just killed like a whole pack and they didn't drop a single cinder. It's horrible. But anyways, this build has basically two ways to proc the overpower damage. This one is basically every 6 cast, I'll overpower, and then this timer, which is pretty much every 12 seconds it'll happen. So if I can time it well, I'll pretty much always have it at the beginning of a fight. Otherwise, it's kind of just using the tankiness. We have 20k health to kind of just buy time until an overpower procs. This build isn't really like for like uber endgame. It really has a cap. But I'm supposed to be like trying to get more vulnerable damage in other places to help stack it. I don't really play the build completely correct. I'm supposed to apply vulnerability more often than I do, but it's only really required in the higher dungeons. Alright, so we need to get these 2 chests. And then for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they made getting the mystery chests much more expensive. I'm not really sure why they decided that was necessary. But it was the best source to get the Helltide material that I need. I think one's right here. Nope. How many chests aren't this close to each other? No, they're both just normal chests. It's kind of surprising. We need like these three or something. But yeah, we'll farm Helltide, get our materials, which I kind of don't really need. I haven't been getting gear upgrade, but it doesn't hurt to get it. Like, I do try to do the Helltides whenever they're up, as long as I'm not in the middle of something. Also gives you a break from just doing a normal dungeon grind. So far they do seem to be dropping a little bit better than yesterday. I think I'm supposed to be doing this move and then damaging them, because that procs vulnerability, which is one of the OP stats for damage in the game. It's basically vulnerable damage and crit. Anything else doesn't really help your damage as much as those two. So pretty much right now you just stack those. If they go with your build, of course. Minion build, I didn't really have a way to proc vulnerability or overpower. I still thought the build was good though. It was fun. Technically I was supposed to run Sever with it, but I found just doing Corpse Explosion was just better and easier. But yeah, it does seem like they're dropping the cinders way more than they did yesterday. After the first initial update, it seemed like it would be like 1 per 10 enemies. It was really hard to farm the chests. I don't know if they updated or it was just really bad luck yesterday. And I didn't do the event down here because I don't even know what you're supposed to do. Oh, I just need to destroy one more structure. That's somewhere. Alright, those enemies just disappeared. Cool. Okay, the event just ended. Alright, I don't know. Whatever, let's go pick up these 2 chests. One down here as well. Jewelry. Yeah, essentially this build, it's one of the more simple things. Pretty much just do Blood Surge and then recoup your mana doing the basic attack if you need it, which also gives you defense. And that's pretty much it. You can apply these curses, which are kind of situational, whether you need to or not. Otherwise, Blood Surge, Blood Surge, Blood Surge. Until they die. It reminds me of D3 type builds. Very basic. Up to the other chest here. I think he gave me the other material I don't really need. The Fiend Rose. Yeah, wasn't there another chest? What happened? It wasn't the mystery chest. I just wanted to use my other 75 cinder. Like around here or something. Alright, whatever. Story we don't have enough for. We have enough for that one though. This is probably for the wisdom tree quest. I guess we can do it actually. This spawns enough enemies. And we can do some cinder farming. That was quick. Normally it's a lot more waves before the enemy comes out. Wonder if they sped that up. Or if it was just because I was doing it Helltide. It's like they don't really want you a quick way to farm cinders or something. Yeah, they were not dropping this many yesterday. I had to do the whole 1 hour farm. I still only opened like, there you go, Forgotten Souls, that's what we need. I still only got like, I was still only able to open like 4 chests in that 1 hour. Because the drop rate of cinders was so bad. Let's just start working our way north, I guess. I don't know why sometimes I hover over these, they don't show up. Actually, just open this one. And then we'll teleport back to town, sell our inventory, and then work our way up. You bugged out last time, I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, otherwise this build for content that's around your level makes it very chill. Because you just nuke everything. A lot of times in just one hit, if overpowered procs. Otherwise, the more tanking things, you have to hit them a couple times, but I'll show that in when we do Nightmare Dungeons. In terms of doing Nightmare Dungeons with this build, it's very easy to use it to farm glyph leveling. Since enemies died really quick, you can kind of just run through the dungeons, get to the end, kill the boss, level up your glyph, rinse, repeat. Like some dungeons, I'll be able to run them in as quick as like 5 minutes or something. So leveling up the glyphs for this build was a lot quicker than it was with the minion. But I'm not fully leveled it. I think 3 of them, 3 out of the 4 that I'm doing are leveled. So we're kind of just leveling up the last one. Which is again another reason why I'm kind of pretty much done with the Necro for now. I don't plan to make another build. It costs us too much money. And I don't also have enough stash space to be able to make a new character or a different class. Because the Necro's taking up so much of the stash. Which I do need to clear out. Alright, we need 9 more. Then I can open this chest. And then we go to the next area. Ooh, I love when there's free ones. Someone killed the boss here. Oh, we need one more. I assume someone killed the boss there. One of the benefits of the game being shared world. Alright, let's go to town. And then we go north. In terms of stats, we want life and armor. Overpower damage for offense.
Unusual, but a good addition to my wares.
Otherwise vulnerable, but pretty much the stats are pretty simple. We want life and armor.
Always smart.
Plus we want attack speed.
Surprise inventory. Unusual.
For some reason, I cannot get an upgrade to the necklace. A worthy one has just would not drop. Alright, let's work our way north. Actually, let's just teleport here. Run around, open up maybe 2 more chests before we get into dungeons. The odd town. It's so difficult to get out. I think we want to go this way. Are they just not going to show me any chests? There you go. Alright, so they're all over on this side. I hate these flies, they're a waste of mana. I'll let the barb. Nope. I was hoping the flies would go towards the barb. Leave me alone. Waste my time. We always bounce around 90 million. And then I try to re-roll some stat on an item. It costs me 10 million. There should be some dungeons with open areas like this. I will say after the recent update, the update before Season 1, they did update the floor plan of the dungeons. They do seem better. They're less walking simulator. Still a lot of walking, but I feel like you get lost less. So less backtracking. It's still possible, but yeah. Seems like they fixed some of the bad dungeons. Also seems like the dungeons you can actually get into are they increased the list. Because for a while it felt like I was getting the same 5 dungeons. But playing yesterday, like, I got into a bunch of dungeons that I was not in the previous week. Alright, what we got around here? Protection, weapon, jewelry, protection. When I started this build, I had no idea that the move reached the entire screen. I thought it would only be the ones the move made contact with. But the fact that it hits everybody on the screen, makes it really good. And then in terms of boots, it's hard to imagine going back to boots that don't give you more dodging. It's just so useful. I don't know what it means when the enemies just come running in like that. And then in terms of mob engagement, it's generally not worth it to just attack one, unless of course it's an elite or whatever. Oh, I thought this was nope. Alright, it's over here. We're gonna go east. It'd be nice if there was like a damage meter or something. Make it easier to kind of compare builds. And also be useful to compare items, whether the item helps your build or not. But I did log into all my other characters and they did get all the map and Lilith statue progress, which was nice. So now my barb and my rogue have the entire map uncovered, as well as the waypoints. Actually, I don't know if I can travel to the waypoints. I actually didn't try, but I do have them. I think you can. At least on the barb, I know you probably can, just because I skipped the campaign on that character. The rogue, maybe not, since I decided to level that character through the campaign again. But if I end up making a rogue for the season, I'll end up just deleting the that rogue, since I didn't get that far with him anyways. Alright, Forgotten Souls, perfect. They need to put the elixirs in its own place, so they don't take up inventory spots. Inventory and stash spots. I haven't noticed this guy. I can't hit him unless I use my normal move. I was only able to hit him with my basic attack. I somehow avoided the blood surge. Weapon, jewelry. I don't remember how much jewelry is. Well, I guess we'll get this and we'll call it. There's only 12 minutes left. I did find the mystery chest last time, but I didn't have enough to open it. And there wasn't enough time to get enough. So unfortunately I had to just abandon it. Technically, if I want to farm the Forgotten Souls, those would be the things I want. Alright, how much is jewelry? Dang, 120. We might be able to get that. Otherwise, I need to actually speed up. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have enough time. I think my max damage is around 600k, unfortunately. Unless I start getting super biz type rolls. That's another reason I'm kind of done with the character. Pretty much maxed out on what its potential is, unless I start getting the bis items. Bis item plus bis roll. Bis item wise, I kind of already have. It's just the rolls on them aren't the best. They're good. They're just not the best. Generally, when I get builds to that point, that's generally when I move on. I'll give it a couple, couple days, maybe a week of trying to get those good rolls. But if it doesn't happen, I generally just move on to either a new character, new build. I think that's more fun to do than trying to just farm one particular roll on an item. Normally it gives you the warning that the Helltide's ending. It did not this time, unless I just missed it, which is probably what happened. It's kind of a shame that it's not so easy to swap builds, because I do want to go back to minion build, because I did add some buffs in the recent patch, but the cost of redoing the Paragon board is too much. I don't feel like spending that. Oh, there's a warning. I don't feel like spending that gold just to try out the changes in the patch, and then having to swap back to this build, and again spending all that gold. So hopefully they address that. There should be a discount for doing a whole new build. Alright, 2 whole Forgotten Souls. Alright, we're done with Hell Tides. We'll go do some dungeons.
Always smart to buy
So
supplies.
this is armor, but terrible roll, and it's a really low level item. Only level 60 requirement. So it's never going to be the highest rolls can be,
Unusual,
which is where I'm at
A good
this
addition
point
to
for
my
this
wares.
build. So anything that isn't of the higher level, even if they have the correct stats, I still pass up on them. And
I would like
basically this is I decided to just use a one-handed weapon, get the extra aspect, extra item to have an extra legendary aspect. This has overpower, but the worst roll of it. So that's pretty much been my luck on this when I was working on this build. Well, we get the right stats on the item, but the worst rolls. Actually, that's how my gloves are right now. Actually, no, I actually got newer gloves, so never mind. The gloves are fine now. But for a while, they were absolutely terrible rolls. Before we go to the dungeon, I want to turn something on. I don't believe they'll show up in the... Oh, they will. Cool. I didn't think the game would capture that. Alright. Let's go do some dungeons, level up some glyphs. And that'll be it. I just wanted to get this last stream in with Necro before we swap characters. New loading screens where that feature your character, not bad. It's not a bad idea. In terms of, what is this, slay everything? In terms of the dungeons though, for this build, I try to avoid anything that is physical damage resistant and overpower and crit resistance. Though I can probably actually live with crit resistance. It doesn't really affect my build too much if they are resistant to crit damage. I have really high crit rate, and my crit damage is not that good. I think my crit rate is like 40% or something. With the minion build, I think I normally hover around low to mid 20s. And then right now, since we spent so much money, I kind of try to get all the gold that drops. As you can see, we kind of just stand there and let tank things, take damage. This isn't the absolute highest dungeon. The enemies are,
Go
what,
search the ruins of a
90
book called
something?
Compendium Maleficarum. If you find it, I've got
But yeah,
a
that's the whole
buyer
purpose of the
who'll
build. To
pay
be
a
a tankier, I can kind of just stand there and base tank them. They're 97.
for as long as you live.
But yeah, we were not able to do that with the minion build. So again, I was just trying to do a build that was kind of like really different than the minion build. I do stand by that if you play Necro, that you should be able to do a viable minion build. Otherwise, what's the point of being a Necro? Necro without their pet is basically just a source that does blood magic. Yes, I feel like they compacted the levels to reduce the walking, which I am definitely a fan of. And I do recognize this dungeon, and in the past, I think it was much bigger, and you would have to go much further out to the various corners. Another thing I kind of need to always remember is this build is based on me being healthy. If I don't have a lot of health, I won't do damage. So that's another, it just works together that being tanky is important to the build. Because the less health I have, the less damage I do. Basically, without being fortified, I would only do about 250,000. Basically, fully healthy and fortified, I can do up. I would say I average around 400 to 600k for the overpower hits. See right there, I'm not fully fortified right now. I do have a barrier, which again just helps me try to stay healthy, my character stay healthy. Defense is our offense, basically. It's one of those situations. Right there, we just hit for 400k. For 600k, it kind of just has to be one of those Goldilocks situations. But yeah, I always have to be mindful that if I'm getting hit, I can't just stand there and do damage. I need to actually go heal before I go back to attacking. Otherwise, I won't be, the attacking will be useless. It won't hit hard enough. Oh man, there's two of these. I did not notice the ice. I'm surprised those guys survived. I think I hit them like 3 times with the overpower. In terms of the butcher, at this level, high 90s, we can base tank it, but it does take us a long time to kill them. I hate being stunned. There's too much CC in this game. Look at this room. They're like all... Alright, we're just stun locked right now. We need to regroup. Alright, we killed most of them. Should be good now. But yeah, I was stun locked for a good 5 seconds there. Too many Medusas. I was hoping they would buff the sell price of jewelry. This is why we acknowledge that after a certain point, collecting more of them is not useful. So I was hoping they would buff the sell price to make them actually worthwhile to pick up. They'll become a factor again when I start making more characters and more builds. It's actually more affordable to just craft additional gems instead of unsocketing them. I have to keep moving because of that stupid shadow thingy and those stun eyeballs. I can technically just stand there and tank that, but there's no real point. We don't have enough room. Drop the non-ancestral stuff. Oops, I think I just picked it right back up. Alright, we're good. Where's the council? So this one we don't plan to level because it's kind of like the last throwaway glyph. We kind of just threw on the board, the last board. This build only has 4 boards. So we just attached, not really a random one, but one that isn't super necessary for this build. It was just a quickest way to get to another glyph socket. And then we kind of just do a random, not a random glyph, but again, a glyph that isn't really make or break for the build. Item power 810. It's two-handed, unfortunately. And not the stats we want. Alright. No life, no armor.
Well, I would like that.
Sell, same thing. No life, no armor. Sell. Has armor, but a bad roll. And the rest of the stuff is also not great. Actually, the first one's not bad. 15% more damage after I pick up a blood orb. With the willpower and the dex.
Always smart.
Not great.
Buy surprise inventory.
Shields we don't use. 100 weapons we don't use. I think this is. Yep. No overpower, but a terrible roll.
Unusual, but a good addition to my
So we want to see overpower, core skill, and vulnerability damage. Basically this. If I can re-roll that all stats to close damage or core damage, it'd be better. But at this point, I've re-rolled this item too many times, or not too many, but it's in the millions now, cost-wise. So don't feel like doing it.
Always smart to buy surprise.
No attack speed. So this one has it, but a terrible roll. Again, that's kind of just been my luck with this build. Has the right stats, just a bad roll of it. Movement speed, no extra dodges, unfortunately.
Unusual, but a good addition to my warehouse.
Has essence cost reduction, no movement speed, no extra dodges. Extra dodges, nothing else. No overpower. So we got nothing out of that run.
See you again.
Let's see, usable or not. So this one is not usable because monsters, they have resource burn, which is terrible for my build. So we will salvage that. But yeah, I hope they kind of just move these into its own, like down here, or it just doesn't take up spots, or it's just another bag somewhere. And preferably some better way to identify what the dungeon is. I don't recognize these icons other than it's, you know, a dungeon in Frosted Peak or whatever it's called. What is it called? Fractured Peaks, I think. And then this is like in the swamp or something, or this is the swamp and this is the desert. That's all that means. Otherwise, it'd be nicer if you hovered over it and it kind of like showed you a little picture or something to better tell what the dungeon is. So you kind of instantly recognize, oh, it's that one. And whether you want to do it or not. But yeah, we're just doing the kind of like low 40s, low mid 40s, just because we're just quickly farming the dungeon, level up our glyph. So they'll just more efficient than doing the super high level ones, where you do get more experience for the glyph, but it's I don't think it's worth it in terms of speed. And so yeah, for the balance, I think it's better to just do mid 40s. It'd be worth it if you were still leveling your character to 100 though. Speaking of which, did he hit it? Oh, he hit it and made a new character. So kind of like right there, kind of shows you the build, even though it was that terrible flame one. We kind of just stood there and tanked it. We hate cold enchanted, but I think they fixed them so that they don't instant freeze you anymore. That's what I think I read from the patch. Stupid health guy. Yeah, this guy had all the cold things. No, I'm not sure what Tempest is. Oh, is this Tempest? What are we even doing here? Slay Fractured Spirits. Right now I pick up blue items just because we need the gold. So I drop them only if my inventory is full. Otherwise I try to leave every dungeon with a full bag. I hate that my character walks so slow. I got so used to having super high movement speed from the minion build. It wasn't inherent to that build or anything, it was just I had a movement speed on the boots and the necklace. On this build I do not. I've been trying to, but my luck with necklace drops on this build has been really bad. I think I've had this same necklace even though it's a item level 800. I've had the same one. I would say pretty much very close to the entire time I've been doing this build. And it's not even this stats. I only have the only good stat on it is the 19% essence cost reduction. The other ones I not even technically supposed to be using. It was just the best that I can get on it. I tried to re-roll it hundreds of times to try to get movement speed, but it would just not show up, and at this point it's just too expensive. Each roll is something like 2 to 3 million or something. I'd rather just get another necklace with better rolls. So like this dungeon layout I don't even recognize, so it makes me feel like they did indeed update the layouts, so they're a little bit less likely to have to backtrack. So that's really good. They're more compact, less filler hallways. So for a move to work and hit everyone on the screen, it does need to at least hit one person. I can't just be attacking the air and expect it to hit everyone in the room. It'd be cool if it worked that way though. I can just hide behind a wall. Reminds me of Diablo's 3 Greater Rift trials before those got removed. These loot chests that make you do this for a minute. Another benefit with this build versus my minion build, well, yeah, that understandably that killed me because I walked into, I think, 4 or 5 poison bubbles. But one of the benefits of this build versus minion, I can actually move around when I'm attacking. The minion build, I had to I didn't have to, but it was better for me to stay stationary, hidden away, so I didn't attract aggro. This one, I can actually kill things and loot at the same time. Or with the minion build, I normally had to wait until everything died before I can go in for the loot. You gotta refortify yourself so you do more damage. I think that's like the only real setup I have to do for this build. But it's basically attacking an enemy to refortify, so it's not that big a deal. It's way easier to kind of die and continue with this build than the minion build. Again, I hope they kind of update that, where you can just resummon your minions a lot easier. They eventually addressed it in Warcraft. Hopefully they have the same logic for this game. Restarting after a wipe shouldn't be so painful. Where are all the dudes with the Animus? 2 of them over here. One's gonna freeze me, probably. Got feared, frozen, stun locked. Alright, we killed the one that freezes. We should be good. And then having more direct decision making on which enemy dies first. It's also a breath of fresh air. Why all three of you have cold whatever? Finally, someone dropped a legendary. I feel like it was been ages. I also think they did buff the drops. So you do normally leave dungeons with a full bag now. Did I get all of it? Yep. Nice. Just surprised it let me heal there. I was already at full health. Alright, we need to drop some stuff. I wish there was an easier way to drop stuff. So I have to drag it out. And we'll grab this guy because it's ancestral. It's strange. My temps are like pretty good in a dungeon. They go way higher in a town. Kind of understandable. It has to keep track of other players. As you see it, the frame rate spiking right here, which is bad. We want a nice flat line. Every time there's a spike, that means it's a stutter. Otherwise, temp-wise, see, it's like an extra 10, almost 20 degrees when we're in town. It's insane. Nothing good here.
Give it over.
Max life, not a bad roll. Their stats aren't good enough to try to salvage that. Not salvage, but use it. For a while, for this build, we were using shield, which was nice, but eventually, offhand is just better because it does more damage and has better stats that roll on it. If the shield can roll similar stats like essence cost reduction, it'd be nicer. But the shield is considered a armor gear, which is correct. Why wouldn't it be considered that? So it can't have the same aspects applied to it either. So I can apply this damage aspect onto a shield. So it limited possibilities. Max roll on overpower. Other ones are not good. And it was a two-hander. We have a really decent to good two-hander already. And while it does do more damage, I just prefer the attack speed of single hand. It's not terrible, but I don't think it's going to be much better than the one I already have. The other stats aren't great. I don't want to spend the gold trying to roll and get it to
That's a deal.
a point I can use it. Too bad you can't reroll the top stats.
That's a deal.
I have gotten items with some of the newer legendary aspects. I'm actually using one of them right here. 5 enemies gather near me. I stun them for 4 seconds, which is pretty good for my build. Armor plus terrible roll, but movement speed. Can we salvage this? I don't really care about the int thing. That's actually pretty bad. Those are generally bad ones, like I have right here. On my current one, I have 7% on. Man, our frames are terrible in town. 86. But yeah, I have the willpower one, which is not good. I've been trying to re-roll this damage reduction to movement speed, but again, it just costs so much money, and the game would just not give me that stat. I wish it was more like Diablo 3. It will tell you these are the stats this stat can become. I'm pretty sure any stat can be any other stat, so that's why it doesn't tell you. But man, I kind of wish it just still showed you, just for clarity. None of these are good. They are all going to get salvaged.
I can break that down.
Any of these keepable? Fine. This is also fine. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, these are all fine. I always like opening the map and seeing that it's a dungeon without a green check mark, meaning it's a new one, or at least not new, but one we haven't done yet. It gets boring when it keeps giving you the sigils for the same dungeon over and over. Even if it's not like the exact same layout, it's still it gets boring seeing the same aesthetics. What is this one? Destroy 3 idols. I think I prefer, even though it hits harder, the big red thing that follows you around the map. Because I hate this one's blind. Forces you to have to move. The other one you can argue it forces you to have to move, but if you can just tank the damage, you can kind of just do that. Also, it seems like it's less tenacious in terms of following you. The big red one, whatever it's called. Check that we don't need to kill those guys because we're just looking for the idols. And then it's also nice not having to be too concerned about after death effects because I can mostly tank them. Unless, of course, 5 of them are going off. I forgot an item. My money. I heard a shaman, I don't hear him anymore. Man, I went all the way here, only killed 1 of the 3. So this is gonna be a lot of backtracking. it's the butcher. I don't really know what the strategy is against him other than face tank him. If you can somehow face tank him and or kill him super quick, that seems to be it. Otherwise, he just stands there and wails on you. It's like, what is this fight? Would it be more interesting than you just standing there and hitting me? And stunning me? And basically making me invulnerable or vulnerable the entire time? What the hell? He tricked me. And then he always has a barrier up, man. He spent the whole time breaking the barrier for him to do a shout and bring it back. And then it doesn't help that that stupid shade is constantly. I chunked him and then he instantly barriered. Alright, one more chunk. We should be able to kill him. Why are you flying around the screen? That's it, so we can kill him. We can face tank him. It's not a difficult fight, but it is annoying and it is a long fight. And since the fight isn't really anything interesting, it really is just standing there until he dies. I wish they kind of updated it, so like, I don't know. The fight was... their interactions with the butcher should be more interesting at this point. In the beginning, sure. When you're leveling, sure. He's just this scary thing that appears and tries to kill you. But later on, I don't know. It could be something. It's like most of those attacks are not like avoidable. So you really just gotta stand there and tank it. That or, like I said, just kill him really quick. But unless you're, you know, hitting for millions, it's not going to be a quick fight. It's going to be a long and pretty boring fight. I think if he didn't CC you as so much, it'd be fine. And the fact that he constantly stuns you and makes you vulnerable, I think that's kind of like my complaint. It shouldn't be able to debuff you pretty much 100% of the time. But again, it didn't help that that stupid shade kept chasing me and making me reposition. Man, they had to really put it at the very end of the hallway, huh? stupid shade thing. It's like, fine, I'm blind. Can I still at least attack? The fact that it doesn't let you attack while you're in it is the annoying part. Alright, what we're trying to do here, kill this dude, get the key. Alright, at least this part was short. I actually personally don't know how I was able to cast so many novas right there. I felt like I had infinite novas. Two of the exact same? Nope. Just same graphic. Let's see. No defense, no life. No defense, no life. These things aren't worth extracting. Not worth extracting. No defense, or no armor, no life.
I'll work on that later.
No overpower. Overpower, but a bad roll. Not ancestral. No attack speed. Is it salvageable? No. Lucky hits. Nope. Nope.
Shake on it.
Nope. No overpower. Good roll on max life. Is this salvageable? If we swap the shadow damage to overpower, we would need the absolute max roll of it, and we'd be able to replace this ring. The other things are not terrible. I would prefer something other than Fortify Generation, but that does go with the build, so that's a maybe. No movement speed, no Tides of Blood, which I've only ever seen roll on a necklace once, which is the stat I'm trying to get on this necklace, other than essence cost reduction and movement speed.
Hard bargain.
Is this worth spending money to try to get the roll? It doesn't have a good roll on crit or fortify, so no. Too many bad rolls.
In fact, protect you.
Unfortunately. Alright, what we got here? Annoying aspects, but doable. We'll keep it. Nope, we gotta get rid of this one. 60% less damage from overpower. My only source of damage. Mana burn. Get rid of that. This one is doable.
There is magic in all things. Let me show you.
Alright, let's skip the new ones. Let's go to this, I guess. This will make them 98. Kind of wish it just showed it that way. What level will the enemies be instead of saying tier 40 something, tier 50 something? Just say what level the enemies will be. That's a better indication of the difficulty of the dungeon. I wonder why they didn't go with that approach.
No! No! No!
I might have actually been able to save her. 3 prisoners. You can just die with the other dude. How did you survive?
You saved my life.
That's the other reason I prefer one-handed weapon for this build. It's just faster to get to the 6th casting of the blood surge. Two-handed weapon, it take longer to cast six of them, 6 spells. Again, it hits harder a little, but I think the speed is better. But in the higher nightmares, it might be worth it to go two-hand.
Brought in 3 more. I'm closer.
But again, I don't think I'll find out just because
Hates me.
pretty much after today I'm done with the Necro.
Way to protect my home.
Unless someone discovers a really interesting build I want to try out. Money, we need money. Almost back to 100 million. It's been forever since we've been there. Alright, what are the chances? Nope, 0 chance that there is a prisoner down there.
Couldn't have made it without you.
We're only half fortified right now. So I think there's also another new one, like only having to return 1 stone carving. All the previous ones were like 2. So again, a nice way to kind of cut down on the backtracking. Oh, it just happened to be a dungeon that was also part of the Whisper quests. Nice. I love when that happens. Doesn't happen often, but when it does. Yeah, we put our fan speeds pretty low because I like a quiet computer. This is our water pump, so it has to be high. Otherwise, I mean, temps are fine. I prefer it to be in the 60s. Anything in the 60s is completely fine. On the hotter days, yeah, I might hit low 70s. GPU just does its thing. There's nothing I can do about that other than put like a water block on it, which I'm definitely not going to. Otherwise, GPU, it's always in the 70s. I can point as many fans as I want at it. It'll just go to 70s.
I'll work on that later.
Come on, give me one viable upgrade. The game just refuses.
Come back when your second skin needs
I did want to try a Bloodlance build. This is one of the new aspects, I believe, from the recent patch. I'm actually using them right now, or extracting them. I just put it in the inventory. I might make some characters just to make them mules. I was thinking of like deleting my rogue if I make one for the season, but now that I think about it, it'd be better if I just converted him to a mule. So these are other items I'm trying to roll, but we have not been getting lucky on these either. Why am I keeping this one? Was I hoping that I can re-roll that overpower to the max roll of overpower? Has to be, but let's get rid of this. Probably one of my desperate. This is also not that great. This one would be good. It has the overpower roll, but again, the worst possible value on it. The lowest possible. The other stats on it are fine. I'll just have to put a different aspect on it. Same with all these other ones. Not these guys. These were the ones I was using and upgraded away from them. This is my two-hander. Max roll of overpower. Other rolls were good, except for damage to close. Could have been 70%. That's actually insane. But yeah, it didn't do as much damage as I thought a two-hander would do versus a one-hander. Actually, we'll use it just to kind of demonstrate that. Can I re-roll this? This would actually be a really good gloves if it would roll overpower. So let's equip this and sell the ones we cannot get to roll properly. I need to break this, or can we keep this? This looks usable. We keep it.
Pack protect you.
All right, jump back in. A dungeon we haven't done yet, at least not today. Kind of see the frames, frame time going up and down as it loads into other stuff. It's having a heart attack. Using up 25 gigs of RAM. Using up almost the entirety of the graphics card RAM. 15 out of 16. Using up 24 gigs out of our 32. Alright, Slay 3, Night Hunters, okay. Alright, so this is two-hander. Oh, basically look the same. Oh, just attack a little slower. Especially when we do our basic attack to regenerate our mana. But as you can see, the damage is not much, if any, higher. than when we were doing one single-handed weapon. Might be a little, but majority, it's about the same. We had to get out of there. They were all chunking us and CCing me. They are still CCing me. I am currently feared. So this is the part where the two-hander sucks. Having to do our basic attack to get our mana back. And since the damage isn't like much higher, if any higher at all, that's why I think using one-hander for this build is better. Oh man, if I had that, the entire, why didn't I pick the pylon? This is the best pylon from this build. It's Blood Nova, my brains out. I forgot to turn in the Wisdom Tree quest. Shouldn't be too big a deal. Unless this happens to be another Wisdom Tree dungeon. And then we would have wasted it. I should have dodged that. I think I kind of wish the game did a better job of indicating when you should kind of get out of the way. And you can argue that the character does a big wind-up, you should know, but I don't know, just some other visual indicator. Just because a lot of times I'm not like looking at the enemy. I'm looking around to see if there's like other danger. Not necessarily entirely focused on the enemy that I'm currently attacking. So something to grab your attention to notify you that a big wind-up is happening would be helpful. We did this one way better than the previous room. I was more prepared for it. Pop the ultimate. See, this is how fast I wish I moved normally. And on the minion build, it's close. Gotta do our basic attack to get some fortification back. See there, I noticed the big wind-up. Maybe if it had made like a war cry or something. But I guess that doesn't help deaf people. So again, a visual indicator. I can't tell if I'm stunned or not. That's another thing I kind of wish it did. Like, show me... If I can't see my character, I need some other indication that, you know, I'm currently not in control of my character. There's so many things on the screen. I can't see that my character is standing there dazed. I don't know why they don't have like a debuff icons right here. Or somewhere. Otherwise, you're kind of left confused why your moves aren't going off and why enemies aren't dying. I don't know, I'll have to review, but yeah, from my previous testing, two-hander does hit harder, just I don't think hard enough to compensate for its much slower attack speed. Which is very helpful for when I'm trying to regenerate mana. I don't feel like doing that event, even though it would give me obols. I don't mind like the quicker ones, or not the quicker ones, but like more straightforward ones. Like the enemies just spawn and you kill them. I actually don't even know what that event was going to be. I just didn't recognize it, so I didn't feel like doing it. No mana, must generate. Actually doing a basic attack. Actually doing a core attack as well. Actually no, my minion build had a core attack. It just wasn't essential. See right there, we hit for 620. I don't think we were hitting for 620 before. Probably would have been more closer to like 4 something, maybe 5. Probably 5 something. It's not that much lower than 2-hander. Especially since I upgraded the 1-hander. Yeah, that done was pretty quick. I think I did it in 10 minutes-ish. So yeah, really good for speed farming, glyph leveling, especially when they're like you're just starting to level new glyphs. Just quickly get them up to like level 10, 15 to get the radius increase.
Can I help you?
I think I've only ever gotten an upgrade from buying it from the store once, but it is possible to find an upgrade through it. So it is worth looking at them.
Well struck.
Does a new stat barrier generation? I don't know. Is that just something you can do normally, or do I need a move? As far as I know, I don't have any moves that generate a barrier, other than this item that does it for me. Okay, so here's one. An aspect that adds the ability to generate a barrier. Decent overpower roll. Would anything about it make it better? My current weapon. It has a worse roll of crit damage. I don't really slow enemies anymore. That's the minion build. I don't really CC things in this build. So all those stats are kind of worthless for us. Good roll of overpower. It is a 806 item. So if what was my current one-hander? It's only a 763. Damage to injured is not great. Vulnerable damage rolled really bad, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the other stats on it aren't good. The lucky hit one sucks. Damage to injured isn't terrible. The vulnerable roll is just so bad. I would need it to be... I would have to replace lucky hit to be something like close damage or core damage. Would make this worthwhile to spend money and upgrade. And I also need another roll of this aspect that I currently have. Doing blood damage or blood skills, overpower damage gained. I have such a bad roll, 46% out of a possible 100. I have such a bad roll on that. And having another item with it is terrible. Anyways, overall on this one, no, I don't feel like spending the money to try to get that to a point I can actually use it. Really good overpower roll though.
Anything else?
Movement speed really good. Fortified generation I'm fine with. No extra dodge, unfortunately. Movement speed. Unfortunately, all the other ones are not good. I don't think I used anything from the macro. That's this one, right? We would get, I guess, some skill points here, which is really just to lower our cooldown on that move. It's not terrible. Fortunately, it's missing. I don't think Hellbent Commander is a thing I'm using. I think that's a minion build thing. Oh, that's down here, right? Hellbent. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so unfortunately that would be a useless stat. Too many useless stats on that thing. We cannot salvage it. Is that this one? No, it was that one. Can't use. Nope. It's not terrible. This one has such a good high damage though, 3,000. The overpower, I'm missing 9. We don't do bone skill. Let's see, that would have to re-roll to vulnerable. I don't think it's worth the money. It's not bad.
You can take what's left.
Ooh, look at this terrible roll. We got the aspect we want, but the roll is the worst it can possibly be. 30 out of the possible 90. We'll extract it though, because I actually don't even have another one of it. Just because we don't even have another.
Fair trade.
Well, unfortunately, it cost us like 500,000. Even though the quality of the aspect has no meaning. It sucks that it costs us more to extract it. I think it costs us less to apply it though. But the extra, such a high price, to pull it out, it's insane. So what I plan to do before I pseudo retire this character is pretty much grab as much of the stuff as I can related to them, and basically so to free up the stash for my other characters. I'm just gonna go in here and pretty much grab as much of these as I can't really grab that many, unfortunately, but I can try to clear out this stash, this chest. And this one is kind of for everyone to use as well. But I'll try to pull out, I should be able to pull out most of those, stash them in here. This one, I'm just gonna have to kind of bite the bullet on some of these things and just, on these I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and just get rid of some, and unfortunately they don't sell for anything. 35 gold. Unless, I just make other characters and use them as mules and throw them in there. Yeah. So hopefully Blizzard kind of just addresses that sooner rather than later. This is fine. I don't like the bottom potion breaker, but it's fine. There has been instances where that like kind of really screwed me, but overall, it should be fine. It has situations has caused me to die from that, but should be okay. More people. 83, huh? Oh, I need to go turn in the stupid tree thing before I keep forgetting. We can just do it from here, right? Good thing there's no timer on these dungeons.
It is done.
Alright, I guess this. Don't really need upgrades on any of those that showed gloves, but we can actually play this build with a controller, and it doesn't really affect it too much since it doesn't really require us to aim. Activate 2 releases. But you'll always have to remember what button does what, though. Ooh, that normally would have one-shotted me. I will say it's a little hard to loot with the controller, since the loot button is the same as your attack button. Sometimes the game just gets confused. Am I trying to loot or am I trying to attack? But I do like the game with the controller. It's more about the inventory management that sucks. Yeah, like right there, for example, I was actually trying to loot, but it decided to attack the monsters instead. We still have not activated a single one.
We came here to purge this evil. But now... I can't leave my friends here. Not like this.
Nope. Think it crashed. Will it recover or is it dead? I'll give it a second. Oh wait, will it recover me in the whatever you call it, the nightmare dungeon? Or most likely my character's gonna be dead. So good thing it's not hardcore. But I can hear audio, but I'm not getting visual. So I'm gonna have to smash the reset button. Benefits of a 2 PC stream, I guess. Might have to do like a hard shutdown of the game PC though. A reset did not appear to have solved it. Generally, I've noticed this happens for HDR games. Windows is still not super HDR compliant. But I do have at least visuals on my monitor again. Restart my PC. This is the only reason I would like to maybe upgrade my capture card. For now, I'm streaming it from OBS to OBS. Putting extra strain on the computer. And technically running an app I don't really want to. But alright, it's back. Just need to boot up the game and we should be back. In terms of where I'll be in the dungeon itself, I have no clue. Alright, the screen went black because I restarted OBS. Now restarting Diablo. But I think we're close to the end of the stream anyways. I was just pretty much gonna hit the what do you call it? I was just gonna level up the glyph 1 level, and then that was pretty much it. I really just wanted to make a stream of the new build. That's pretty much how I plan to stream Diablo. Once I kind of get a build to its peak in terms of what I want to farm, or when I feel like I'm done farming gear for it, I'll probably make a video, do a stream, and then move on to the next build and or character. Alright, we should be back. In terms of my dungeon, is it just gone? That's the way it looks, since I don't see the icon for it. Yeah, that dungeon is just gone. It did count that I turned in the whatever. So, yes. I don't know if I died or what, but 33? Oh, I probably got that from the world tree, right? I was wondering, like, what the heck? Where's this guy? I think it's one of the worst towns to be teleported to. Things are so spread apart in this one. It's a decent looking town, but in terms of trying to get to the necessary shop people, it is not great. This is fine.
Good business and fortune to you.
Sure. Alright, let's try it again. Try to get to, or just level up this glyph, and then call it. I do really like this controller though. Makes me want to play more games on controller. Got a ghillie kit, hollow effect, controller. Joysticks are really nice and smooth. I'm actually curious what happened to the other dungeon. Did the game just say he's been logged out too long and just close it? Or did it like actually recognize a crash? Ooh, I did no damage there. Again, regenerating mana with a two-hander is pretty bad. What is this? I haven't done this dungeon in a long time. I haven't seen that teleport in so long. So yeah, it does seem like they opened up the dungeons that are possible in the late game. What is this, 97? Yeah. I'm pretty sure like in the entire time I was doing my minion build, I did not get this dungeon in the 90s.
I beg you.
Wrong button. Still hitting the wrong button. Do you have to teleport back out? Really? You can just give me a teleport? I would say one of the benefits of playing with the controller though is the feedback. When you're getting attacked or getting damaged, the controller rumbles. That's a pretty good feature that you're missing when you're playing on mouse and keyboard. Like something as simple as it rumbling when I'm sending in poison is very helpful. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even notice until I see that my damage is like really low. Alright, so far this dungeon's layout has been atrocious. all over the place. Move, man. Get to the teleport.
Over here! Help!
Man, I've been low mana for a long time. Just can't seem to top off. Travel to the scrotum. The portal is racing me. It really wants me to give it attention. Lag spike there. I wasn't taking any of my inputs. Where are we trying to go? What? Oh, I see it. I guess as the other negative controller, it's harder to navigate the map when you want to scroll around. Not harder, more involved, more effort.
Over here! Help!
What do you want? Alright, okay. I never noticed the arrows the controller puts over enemies for you to lock on. It's not, didn't stand out enough. But it is helpful for, killing the, what do you call it, the goblin, the loot goblin. Still trying to travel through the scrotum. What is this layout? It's the exact same as the place I just came from. But I just felt like I just walked in a circle. There we go. Alright, we can finally get out of here. Maybe? Oh, come on, you just have a little chunk left. Let me... There you go. Sheesh. Are you really gonna make me wait until my overpower procs? This is where mouse and keyboard is superior. I'm just gonna go ahead and switch. Make this quicker. Let me take one of you. All right, leveled it up 19. That will be it. Call it here. We'll finish off the loot. And that is GG's on our Necromancer. Next time I stream, I'll be on a different character. Druid or Rogue is the plan. But there is a slim chance I'll do Barbarian. Just because I did level one up to 36 or so. And I did enjoy it. But my issue with Barbarian is endgame, it seems like the viable builds are... I don't know, it didn't seem like the endgame builds are that interesting, is my main observation of Barbarian. Their endgame builds just seem kind of not at the same level of interesting as the other classes. They do a lot of damage, so... Then it's pretty much the only other option is kind of go the cookie cutter whirlwind build, which is not even like the best one. Why does it always roll the same two stats when it rolls a good overpower? It always rolls the same two damage to injured and execute. Lucky hit, execute, injured.
Well, I would like that.
Not good stats, but a good aspect that I need to extract. Sell you.
Always smart to buy surprise inventory.
Alright. A mid roll of overpower. No, but two rolls that we can't do anything with. One is crit to bone skills. The one is blood lance. Unfortunately, you can't re-roll two stats. That makes that
always
useless.
Smart
We don't use. We just use this unique pants. Not essential to our build, but no reason really for me to get off of it other than on our regular pants we can roll extra life, which would be therefore increase our damage. But I just really like just getting that free barrier pretty much up the entire time. Terrible roll, overpowered. Once again, has the stats we want though. Overpower with max life. I would re-roll blood orbs, but because the rolls are so bad on the good stats, makes this not a viable ring. 16 out of the possible 28, and then max life 363 out of the possible 590.
Well, I would like that.
Not a single upgrade.
See you again.
Not a single upgrade today.
I can break that down.
Did we die? Did it count as a death when we... Yep, it counted as a death.
Don't ruin all that.
Oh no, I died from that blood or poison explosion in that one room. So it actually didn't look like it counted as a death for me crashing. For my PC crashing and having to leave the abandon that nightmare dungeon.
Don't dally. Hand it over.
So this is one of those generic aspects that can probably get used on any of the other classes. I can see this really being useful for both Druid and Rogue, so... otherwise, that's actually... I mean, we did decent damage there. But in the interest of saving space, because now we're converting this character into a mule. For now, anyways. I'm gonna keep these semi-low level ones just in case one of my other characters want it or can do them. Eventually when I get another level 100 character. Or, you know, 90s, I guess. 80s, 90s, and use them for leveling up. Which is why we're keeping these potions in here. Just for the 5% experience gain. But otherwise, we gotta clear out this. How many? See, the problem is I don't want to mix these in with these. I know these are useful. These are for a potential other build, specifically Bone Spear. And I don't really want to carry them in here. Though I guess I can tell which are the useful ones based on them being upgraded. We'll have to kind of like carefully separate these unleveled. I technically don't even need this, but it has such a good roll. The max 240. All right. Anyways. Almost just 2 things. Actually, let's look. Bone skills. That's definitely useful. This one is not, so we can actually just not grab that. Useful. I can see that being useful. This is not useful for anything, I don't think. I tried to use it, it just didn't turn out useful for anything. I know that's part of the Bone Spear build. These are to get extracted. I think this would be useful for a rogue, so actually we'll put that in there. And I guess we can do this. This is to get extracted. I guess we can just stick this in here. This slot will be for whatever current character we're using. This is also not specific to my Necro, so we don't need to keep it here. I guess technically, no, this is Necro only. Okay. These are not Necro only, so they can get used by anybody, so that's fine. The rest kind of are. Yeah, there we go. Clean enough. Yeah, I guess I'll just dump these. Do I really? Nah, I don't really need to actually. If anything, I can grab another one just to free up space, but I don't think that's that necessary. In terms of this is the other one we need to clear out. We used to actually have 2 of these chests with these things. I'll clear this out later. But yeah, I think that's it. The farewell stream for Necro. We'll see what other class we make. I'm leaning towards Rogue. But if I do make a hardcore character, probably be easier if I did Druid.